Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another tea time with Frida. I do not have tea today because I'm just trying to roll and film this video, so I promise in my next video I will have tea, okay? We are just gonna jump into this video. My setup is a bit different. I told you guys I was going to be filming this from my bed, but things change a little bit. I am in a new space which I'll talk about in another video, so that's why I have a different setup. This setup increased my productivity a lot more, so I definitely like this setup. This is my second time filming this video, this particular topic, talking about it, but the first time I unfortunately didn't turn on the mic, but today I turn it on. I can see I turned it on. So I hope I wouldn't lose this footage for some weird reason. I want to talk about privacy, keeping your private life private. In this day and age, a lot of people just put everything out there, which is very problematic. And as much as the world is going towards a point that everything seems to be okay and everything seems to be allowed, these things are the same things that are biting us. You know, they are the same things that are going against us when you go for job search and all of that. The things you put out there is important. It is important in so many ways and on so many different levels. Okay, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. I live by the roadside, so if you hear like the cars and all of that, it's because I live by the roadside. This space is very hot, so I have to open the window, unfortunately. But yeah, just ignore it. Just focus on my beautiful voice, okay? One of the reasons why this topic even came up in the first place is I was going through Instagram and I saw things that personally I wouldn't advise anyone to put out there. There's this thing that people put things out there thinking it's supposed to be funny, but it's not funny, especially of kids. I do not like going to Instagram and seeing some people post certain things about their kids. And I think, yes, that's your child, you want to post anything, do it. But then once you do it, once you put it out there, you're inviting the public to also share their opinion on whatever you're posting, right? So then when the public go out there and they post and then they misinterpret whatever you're posting and then they comment on it, then you call them haters. You can control what people think about what you're putting out there. You can be putting something there very innocently and someone will take it in a different way, and you can't really blame them. The only thing you can control is what you put out there and how you choose to present yourself. There are some of these things I sent to my friend that have a child, and I'm like, I don't know why these people think it's funny to post these things out there, okay? There was a recent one I saw that they were trying to cut the child's hair, and they put the child in a box so that the box sort of the body of the child will be restricted in the box, so that it's only in the head that will be up, and then they cut the hair. I don't find that funny. To me, it's not funny to me. See, if that's how you want to cut your child's hair, cut your child's hair. Just take the camera off. I don't think it's funny. So that's the angle I'm coming from with this video. I think that your private life is essential. It is good to have some privacy to yourself. It is good to keep some of your life private. It's not about keeping a secret, it's about deciding what people get to see about your life. You pick and choose what you put out there in the public, because now everything you put out there can be used against you in some way or some form. We are all not perfect. There are once in a while that you might post something that you shouldn't post and then realize that, oh, I shouldn't have posted this. But once you put it out there and you even go and delete it, there was a public record of it. Listen, anybody can find that thing that you put out there and can use it against you if they want to use it against you. So I'm not saying don't post. I'm just saying be mindful of the things you post. There was a time in my life that I was into social media a lot, and I would say Frida then will be somebody that will be happy to post a lot about herself. It's exciting if something happens to you, if you get a new promotion, you get a new boo, you get a new car, you want to tell the whole world and just share your happiness with the whole world. I don't think people are showing off if they do that. I don't think it's that. I think it's just a level of happiness that pushes you to do some of these things, and you want the whole world to know you're happy, you're smiling, a lot of things are happening with you, or probably you're sad, because a lot of people post on the internet today when they are sad. And I'm not judging anybody, but I think your good intention can be misconstrued. Somebody can take that and run with it and create a narrative about it, and you can't really control that. So my thing is trying to control the uncontrollable. You can't control how somebody feels, how somebody think, or the response somebody gives you. You can't. But what you can control is how you allow people to say things in your life, how you allow people, how the part of your life that you want people to have a say in, basically. I'm reading out some points that I wanted to touch on, and one of these points is the importance of keeping your life private for your safety. That's the first thing I want to talk about. For your safety, we have heard of stories that people get hurt. I don't want to necessarily say any word because of the YouTube algorithm. People get hurt because they posted their location online, and people get into trouble because of their location online. And like, people go out to places and then they immediately post that on the internet. I think I can use this example for because this is a public thing. I'll use Kim Kardashian as an example. There was a time she got robbed, and she got robbed because people found out about her location on social media. So now what she does is she doesn't post things when they are currently happening, right? This is somebody that went through an ordeal. She got robbed at gunpoint, I believe, and it was a very frightening experience for her, and she learned from it, right? And this is just a few or one of the so many things that have gone wrong because people posted their private location, or people posted their live location and has given too much details into their life. The world is going to a direction that evil is everywhere. No matter how you think about it, evil is everywhere. You know, you can't even trust the next person sitting beside you, because that's how dangerous the world has become. So in everything that you do, you want to keep your safety first. There are certain things that I will want to post on the internet, and then my instinct will tell me, why are you posting it? And one thing about me is, if I'm doubting myself about something I want to post, I always send the thing to my brother, and then I ask him, what do you think about this thing? Should I post it? If his answer is no, I'm not going to do it. I think when I moved to my first place, it was my brother who said, you can post about your new place, but be careful what you post out there. Make sure you don't post too much that will leave you that somebody can pick on and use it for anything. And that was, to be honest, I didn't have that in mind. I really didn't have that in mind, and it was very important that he brought it up, because even if I was going to do a room tour, I didn't mind telling you where I live. I didn't think it was that serious until he pointed it out. So sometimes some of the things that you might post online, you might not think is serious, but I think that if somebody call your attention to it, you should listen. You should really listen. If it's something that is going to harm you, I would say take it down. If it's something that is not going to, I think every criticism have a way of weighing it, so you just have to weigh it. Some people, you just post things that they don't want you to post, so you post it. So they call you out for it. And some people will just call you out for anything, so that's also another side. So the next point I had on the importance of keeping your life private is you get to choose what part of your life that people chip into. When you post your life out there, anyhow, anyway, you are inviting people to speak into your life. You're inviting people to have a say into your life. You know, it's like a house. If I don't open my door to you, you're not going to come in. If I open my door to you and you come into my house and you see that, my kitchen is dirty, let's say that as an example, you can comment on the fact that my kitchen is dirty because I allowed you in the first place. But if I don't allow you in, you don't have that right. You don't get to see, so you don't get to talk about it. You get where I'm coming from? It is my life. How I choose to live it should be my business. But I can't post that life on a public platform and expect people not to talk about it. It is almost impossible to do that. So when you're posting things out there, you have to scrutinize whatever you're putting out there. Ask yourself, am I okay with people chipping into this aspect of my life? An example that I'll give is there are a lot of celebrities that their marriages are out there, and then they talk about all bloggers talking about their marriages. People call themselves internet in-laws and blah blah blah. They complain about the public having a say in their marriage. The public only have a say in your marriage because they know what is going in your marriage because you put it out there. I'm not saying do not post your spouse or everything or all of that, but people literally tell you what is going on in their marriage. Like, you know their marriage from their public platform. So then let's say example, if your spouse cheat on you and then you put it out there, it is harder to forgive that person because now the public and everybody's in your business telling you how ridiculous, how bad or how unfaithful or how disrespectful your spouse is. You understand? So then you are taking all of these comments and it's already fueling your energy and getting to your point that hatred just takes over and you can't let go of the fact that that person cheated on you. This is not an excuse for people that are cheating. But then on the flip side, somebody's spouse is going to cheat on them and then nobody knows about it. It's just between them, the two of them. They talk about it, they go through the healing process together, and they decide whether they're going to stay or not. It is more likely for somebody who is cheated on in private to stay than somebody who is cheated on in public to stay. I don't care whatever you say. I think it is more likely to forgive something if nobody else is watching than to forgive something if somebody's watching. That's just how we human beings are wired. And this is not an excuse for cheating. It's just an accessible example that I could use. So it's also, let me add another level to it. When let's say your spouse cheats on you, and then your family members get to know about it, then what? They start talking to you. They start saying things in your head. Your mother calls you and tell you how ridiculous your husband is, or how unfaithful and disrespectful, or how bad of a man he is, or how bad of a wife he is, or how ridiculous your wife is. And then your niece calls you, says the same thing. Your nephew calls you, say the same thing. Your grandfather calls you and say the same thing. But then if they don't know, you might forgive that person and stay with the person. But now everybody knows how a failed of a man or a woman your spouse is. So then you want to leave them because they've disgraced you publicly. When you go to that family get together, they are looking away and they are side eyeing you because you're still living with a cheating spouse. But if it's private, you are more likely to handle that thing and take a different decision. We always take different decisions when things are not open to the public. We make different decisions, whether you like it or not. How the public has an influence on your decision. It takes a very strong person to say that, regardless of how the public think this thing is, this is my decision and I'm going to stick to it. This is the same as having peer pressure. When you are in public and among friends, you are more likely to do certain things than if you're by yourself. So that is just how it plays out. When you put your life out there, and every single thing you put out there, people put every little thing. Please, this is what my spouse is, that is what my spouse does, and this, people even put things even to the detail of their bedroom stuff. Like, listen, we don't want to hear about that. Give it to yourself, your damn self. Like, I don't get it. Like, there's no layer of privacy in some people's life. There's absolutely no layer. Again, like I said, there was a time in my life that I would be okay posting a lot of things online, but now, and I think as I grow older, I am less likely to even post. Let's say 5 years from now, and I have a child, I don't even know if I want to post my child online. Yes, there is that thing that, especially if I have for me, I always fantasize about, my mommy daughter getaway, mommy daughter outfit, mommy son, whatever. I want to twin with my kids, have a playful thing with them, and of course I would love to post that out there. But I still at a place that I don't know if I want to post it, because the world is changing, and as the world change, I think we need to change. Now, anybody watching this, if I post something about my family in the future and somebody said, oh, but you say you're not gonna post it, I didn't say that. I said I'm still thinking about it. Okay, hear me well and hear me loud. It is important to keep your privacy, because you can filter what people say about you. You always feed them what you want them to see. And this is one thing about Instagram. When you go on Instagram, you see a lot of beautiful things, because people want you to see the beauty. They don't want you to take away that layer of beauty and see the true things that they are going through. And that is how social media is supposed to be. You choose and pick what you want them to see, and of course do it in all honesty. But aspects of your life, especially when it comes to do with another person, be mindful of the things you put out there. Be very mindful of the things you put out there, because whatever you put out there can be used against you in any form or any shape. So before you put something out there, be okay with the public chipping in. Be okay with somebody taking that and making a narrative of it. If you're not okay with it, then don't. Keeping your life private or keeping some things to yourself saves you for a lot of mental stress. I told you guys a while back that I was trying to get into medical school, and one of the criteria is med schools, they go to your social media to scrutinize things. Every agency or any there are a lot of agencies out there, there are a lot of works out there, there are a lot of institutions out there that will go out there to look at your social life, to make a decision on whether they want to give you a job or they want to give you an admission. Is it fair? Probably not, because your talent can be different, or your skill or what you bring to the table might be different from your personality online. And I think it's possible. You can't judge a book by a cover, because essentially whatever they're seeing online is probably a cover. They haven't really dealt with the actual book. But unfortunately, this is part of the decision making of certain institutions that are coming up now. So that when you put your stuff out there and then you're trying to get to a place, and then you get to this place that things that you've put out there is going to go against you, then it's giving you mental stress. Even aside from that, the energy, that there's this level of adrenaline that Instagram gives you, social media gives you. When you read all the nice comments about yourself, you read all the beautiful things, and people say things that wire you up and get you excited. There's just adrenaline that comes with it, and it always make you feel, you know what, I need my validation from social media. Now, not everybody goes through that. I'll use myself as an example. When I started this whole YouTube, Instagram thing, I was in college, and I love to create. I've always, when I was a little girl, I've always said I wanted to be an actress. So I love this. I love setting up a camera and talking to it and all of that. I might not necessarily achieve that goal to become an actress, because it's not something I even want to pursue now. But I love this. I love creating. I love being in front of the camera. I love doing me. So I genuinely enjoy doing this. But then I think it became a bit too much that I couldn't separate myself from, should I even put it like that? I was losing myself in this thing that, unfortunately, these social media platforms gives you rules to follow. They are unspoken rules, but then when you do them, you find success. There are a lot of things that you have to do on YouTube. You have to post regularly. YouTube wants you to handle YouTube as a full-time job before they give you the income. Once you start making that income, you can live off of it. But when you're a beginner, like if you have the subscriber count that I have, you're a small YouTuber, you struggle, because they want you to handle this thing. They are not paying you well, or they are not even paying you at all, but they still want you to handle as a full-time job. While your full-time job, when you go there, you get paid every minute and every second. When I started this YouTube, I wanted to get to I wanted the subscriber count and all of that to get monetized. Of course, as much as I love doing this, it would be nice if I get monetized. You see, and then you have to post on Instagram regularly to get followers. There are a lot of things that these things make you do, and then it drives you nuts, because I want the subscribers, I want the followers, I want all of this, all this glam life, and I see these people doing it and they are being successful about it. Why won't I do it and be successful? So then I put all my energy and my effort into this thing, and to some extent it was affecting my mental health. That it's like, when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking about the next video to shoot. When I'm studying, when will I get to shoot my next video and all of that. So I took a break. It was an unintended break, but then it just happened. I'm grateful to God for giving me that break. I took a break from Instagram and social media, like all of it, YouTube, social media. And then when I came back, my perspective on how I approach social media changed. So now, as much as I still love to shoot, it is not my priority like that. And yeah, somebody might take that and say, oh, okay, YouTube is like a business. If you do it, you put all of it in it. Yes, I would love to put my all in it, but then it doesn't pay the bills. So until it pays the bills, I'm gonna do my 40-hour job that pays the bills and put the food on the table. But even when it gets to paying the bill, and this is not me saying don't give time and attention to YouTube and all of those things, you can, but when it's starting to affect your personal life and it's starting to give you anxiety, because that was the thing it was doing to me. I started getting anxiety when I don't post, when I skip posting. Like, it's like this anxiety that I get, that I failed my audience and all of that. And I still feel that, but then in a healthy way. I don't know if it's making sense. I know I have to post and I failed my audience, but then now, as of before, it's like I have all these things that I have to do, but then I also want to film. But now it's like I look at myself and I ask myself, do I genuinely have the time and I'm not posting or I have all of these things and I can fit you two into it. So I'm able to arrange my priorities and set things perfect. I just told my friend that I have just become lazy and not posting. It wasn't because I didn't have time, but it's because I've just been lazy. So that's different from just getting anxiety because I didn't post on social media. So for me, my mental health was important to me, so I took a step back to handle that. Now I have more discipline on how I handle social media. Now I have more discipline on the things I do. I pick and choose the things I do. And also that aspect that when you show a lot of nudity, and there are a lot of things you can show and just blow and go viral, right? But then in the long run, those things can go ahead to bite you. So then you ask yourself, do you want to just follow the trend and just get viral this couple of weeks, get viral for 3 days and whatever, and then this thing can go against you and change the whole perspective of your life or the whole course of your life. So it's like there's a price to pay for everything. Right now, yes, I do want to get monetized. I was monetized at some point. YouTube demonetized me. Listen, YouTube has a mind of its own. I'm just not letting it get to me, okay? I've been trying to do live streams to get my hours up. So if you're listening to me, be streaming my videos when you get a time, because of course I do want to get monetized. You need to develop some level of discipline, or else this platform is going to break you down. At this point, I make decisions that I think are helpful to me. As much as I want to create content, I also want to jeopardize my health or jeopardize the things that are important to me. So yeah, I choose my battles very wisely. When it comes to mental stress, people can be very mean on social media. People can be very mean to you. There are mean comments. People think they just have the right to say anything to you. Nobody is empathetic anymore. They just want to say things to you. I remember getting my first mean comment. I don't even remember what the person said, and I think it was something about my looks. Yeah, I was in college and I posted something on Instagram. I think a hair video, and somebody made a comment about my look, and I was hurt. Listen, that really hurt me. But then I think over time I sort of created a wall, a defense mechanism. I think when you do this for a long time, you get to a point that you just say, you know what, that's just one sad human being trying to make you sad, and I will not give you that chance to make me sad. But if you don't develop that mentality and you just put yourself out there, people can just be mean. People don't care anymore. They just want to be mean, and they will be mean. They don't need your permission to be mean to you. So yeah, it's very important that you keep your life private. What our advice is, when you post something, before you post something, ask yourself, in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, will this thing affect me in any shape or form? Yes, you can't predict the future, but there are certain things that you post out there that logically you know it might affect you. So you need to ask yourself, is this thing I'm posting going to affect me in any shape or form? If it's going to, please don't post it. Another thing to ask yourself is, whoever I'm posting this thing about, is it going to affect them? Because say I am posting about somebody, maybe I post a picture with a friend, and maybe the friend was in a good shape, or maybe I'm posting something about my friend in a compromising way. I need to ask myself, will she like people to see her in that light? Would this thing affect her or him in the future? If it's going to, please don't. Like, be respectful enough to people, whether the person is your friend, your brother, your sister, your spouse. Be respectful enough to respect people's privacy. If it's not about you, get permission before you post it. If it's just about an instant gratification, an instant pleasure that is going to give you, that's why you want to post it, please think about it. Don't really think about it. And if you're a Christian, ask yourself if Jesus will be proud of you posting this thing. Another final thing I would say is, if you have doubt posting something, if you're in doubt about something you're about to post, get a second opinion on it. Have people in your life that will hold you accountable. There are people in your life that you respect enough to not post certain things online. There are people in your life that you respect and you don't want to disappoint them, so you don't take certain decisions. I sent a note to one of my guardians at some course of this my life and I was telling him that he was one of the reasons that I didn't have to sleep around. He was very instrumental in me not sleeping around. As much as he didn't say it, that Frida, don't do it, he was one of the people that I didn't want to disappoint. I really didn't want to disappoint. And again, he doesn't, let me not say he doesn't care, because he cares. Again, he didn't tell me not to do this thing. For all you know, he wouldn't even know if I do this thing. Okay, he wouldn't know unless I tell him, because we don't even live in the same geographical area. But then anytime even a thought like that crosses my mind, I'm like, will he be happy with this choice that I'm making? So that alone kept me accountable. Like the subconsciousness of me feeling that he might know, or he's probably watching. And I know this is weird because he's not, but there are some people in your life that you would do anything not to disappoint them. And for me, that was him. I didn't want him to be disappointed. So then I make those decisions because I didn't want to disappoint him. So if you have someone in your life like that, have friends that keep you accountable. My friends can tell me, Frida, you need to put that thing down. You need to take it down. My friends are not scared to tell me anything. I think if you have friends that they can look in your face and tell you real stuff, you need to reevaluate the group of friends that you have, because your friends are there. We are all not perfect. We are not 100%. But then we have people around us for that reason. When I'm going to fall into a hole and my friend sees that hole before me, they need to tell me, that path you're taking is going to lead you to your doom. And you need to reevaluate. I might be a little hot-headed sometimes and not listen, but I appreciate that they tell me. Okay, and if you have friends like that, you should appreciate it. I think for me, one thing I have been blessed with it, I have really good friends and I can vouch for them. So that's one thing I hold really dear to my life. My friends listen. I have great friends. Okay, I have great friends and I am very proud of the friendships that I've made. I have great friends. So yeah, on that note, I'll end this video here. Yeah, let me know all the advice you have on keeping your private life private. Chip in, let me know, what do you think? What is the advice you can give somebody? Why do you think it's important to keep your life private? Because I would love to know. I would love to know your thought on this. And if you have any topic you want me to talk about, I really don't mind. I will talk about anything. So just leave it in the comment below and I'll bring you a video on it. So until then, I'll catch you in my next video.